Okay, so this guitar was hanging on the wall at the house of someone that I know. They're going to remain nameless to save their blushes. But I saw it hang on the wall, and I noticed this kind of discoloration on the fingerboard, and I didn't know what it was. So it's kind of lighter here, and then it gets very much darker, and then there's a little light bit at the top as well, just there. And anyway, so I said, oh, that's strange coloration on that fingerboard. And then I realised, when I had a look, it's actually, well, the way it's played, the grease and the dirt. So I'm going to see if I can show you how grubby this is now. But I think you can see here, just about, there, you can see there, look. It's pretty grubby. And then I noticed what we might call the unique stringing style. So you've got strings coming up on the outside of the peg here, and then maybe on the inside of the peg. And you've got some places where there's a turn or two, and then some places where there's, well, I don't know, how many turns have we got there in that middle peg? Just there. Huh? There's a few. And then, oh geez, I don't know. So I figured that could be done a bit more neatly. So I offered to bring it back to my house and put a new set of strings on it and clean it up. So that's what we're going to try and do. So I think you can see the kind of accrued sort of discoloration and muck on the fingerboard. I'm not sure that we'll make a lot of impact on that, but we're going to have a go. And the first thing to do is get the strings off. Oh, by the way, when I tried to tune the E string, I broke it. So although it looks like in one piece, the core's gone. It's not really nice to mock the afflicted, is it? But just look at that. So this guitar looks a Yamaha. It's got quite a nice tone. I've known the guitar for a while actually, and it's a bit grubby in there as well. You can see might need a little bit of a clean up inside as well. The tone on the guitar is pretty good, I think. So when I asked the owner of this guitar when was the last time they changed the strings, they said they didn't know. Maybe 15 years ago, they said. So it's definitely time for a change, isn't it? So the stuff we're going to use to try and clean up this fingerboard is this, the Dario lemon oil. So we'll give it a go, see how it works. When I've used it in the past, it cleans things nicely, but doesn't always match up the colours. You know, it takes a bit of oil in the wood, but not a lot. So hopefully you can see there's I've done 4 frets so far, and the one with the dot is not cleaned, so hopefully you can see the difference between the cleaned ones and the uncleaned ones so far. So you can see from here how the oil, the lemon oil, is taken up by the fingerboard. I mean, it's this fingerboard has just been so uncared for. You see the difference there, I think, pretty clearly. So another quick thing to check while you've got a guitar stripped down like this is the machine heads are all screwed up tight, and straight away I saw there's a problem with this one. I don't know if you can see, but so these little screws here will need tightening. out of the 6, 3 of them are loose. This one is as well, and I think this one, was it? Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. There we are. Well, brief rest for a cup of tea, and a little bit of talk about strings. So I've got these strings to put on it. They're 10 to 50. That's thousandths of an inch, I think. Anyway, when I looked at the strings that were on this guitar, I thought they seemed very light. So they were 10 to 46. If I can do it, I'll stick a little photograph or two showing that just about here. So I've bought 10 to 50s because they're the closest that I could reasonably get to 1046s. And I've bought this particular EZ900 spec because they have a plain third, which was what was on this guitar, not a wound third. And so I'm hoping that the feel will be similar for the owner of the guitar. When I got to think about it though, I did wonder if they hadn't had electric guitar strings put on them, or strings intended for an electric guitar, because 10 to 46 is quite a common gauge on an electric guitar, but much less common on an acoustic. So acoustics would often have 1253 or something like that from the factory. So I don't know. Anyway, we'll try these out and see what they're like. So one of the handy little things on these D'Addario strings is the ball ends are colour coded. Well, I'm a little bit cheesed off about this because I bought these online and the web page definitely listed these as having a plain third, and you can see here, look, that's a wound third. So that's a disappointment, but I guess we'll see what the owner makes of them and what they sound like. So when you're installing the strings, you'll see the pegs have got a groove in them, and you line the groove up with the string, then you just push it in like that. And then you give the string a little pull back, a little tug upwards to snug it in. Just a little thought about how much slack to leave on a string when you're tightening them up, because it's often a problem. So basically on the 3 thicker strings, you want to leave the distance between posts plus a little more, maybe post and a bit of slack, and on the higher strings you want to leave a post and a half to 2 posts length. So you pull it through, you'll pull it through pretty much tight, and then you think, you know, sort of hold it here, pull it back a post and a bit, and then you'll want to cut it here. In fact, if I remember, I'll post a video link in the description. There was one from Martin Guitars that was a really good description of how to restring. So if I remember, I'll put that in the description. Okay, well that's the job done. It's looking quite a bit better, I think. So tuning heads look a bit neater. Fingerboard's a whole lot cleaner. And just see how it sounds now.